What's going on, YouTube world? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in once again. I'm Dusty. This is the Shred Academy. If you're anything like me, you love to spend time at the jumps and the drops, but you also love some technical rock features, whether they be slow or fast. And body position is just as important with these features as it is leaving lips of jumps or off of drops. So today we're going to give you some pointers to get down these technical rock features, rubber side down, and on to the next feature. Come on, let's go. The most important part of any technical feature, slow or fast, is being a pilot, not a passenger. And this is achieved through body-bike movement, which is enabled by body-bike separation. Separating your body from the bike to allow it to bounce and move underneath of you while you move your body or the bike underneath of you to keep your body stable as it goes over rough terrain. And we can see this demonstrated here through these whoops. As my bike moves underneath of me forward and back, up and down, I'm using my arms and legs to allow the bike to dance underneath of me while my body stays stable and my head stays stable looking down trail. This will be important in any technical feature, whether it be slow or fast, so that your body can stay stable over the bike and in control as it dances underneath of you. Alright, I'm showing you guys this clip because it demonstrates two important things. First, it demonstrates a skill called ratcheting, and that's a way to create forward momentum in rocky situations with minimizing the risk of catching your foot or pedal through full pedal strokes. This is achieved by being in level pedals and then forward pedaling a quarter stroke or a half stroke and then back pedaling back into your level pedal position. This does two things. It allows you to create forward momentum while minimizing your risk of catching a pedal or foot on things sticking out of the trail, as well as it allows you to keep this lead leg forward. If we were to take a full pedal stroke before this feature, unless you're comfortable switching your lead foot, going down a steep and technical feature with your trailing leg leading may make you more uncomfortable and not trust your skills as much. The second thing I want to impart is the importance of staying in your attack position and not just dropping your hips towards that rear wheel when the terrain gets steep. Older bikes with steeper head angles kind of force us to drop our butt back behind the rear wheel because it would definitely help minimize the chance of going over the bars through these bigger compressions. But with modern bikes and their geometry, the fork is much more raked out, which allows the bike to go through these uneven compressions much more stable while you are in the attack position. As well, going into the back of the bike is going to take traction and pressure off of this front tire, which is needed for both braking power and mobility of the bike, steering the bike as you're about to go into this chunky terrain. Finally, if you stay in this attack position while you're going down these steeper inclines, it's going to allow you to create other body bike motions. Like here, I have to execute the push, which is pushing the bike out from underneath of me forward using my arms and legs, dropping my heels, allowing me to put all my weight onto this rear wheel as we make this 1 foot drop off of this ladder here. I'll go into that push here, and then we're able to land right back into our attack position in this rocky terrain. So my points here are, if you need to create forward momentum, use the ratcheting technique. And don't just revert to dropping your butt towards that rear wheel when you encounter steep terrain or steep features. That's going to take away your ability to move the bike around. It's going to take away braking power, which takes away control. All right, let's have a look at a much more technical line with multiple compressions and a rough section after it. As I come into the frame here, notice I'm centered over the bike, moving the bike around underneath of me with my arms and legs, allowing my head and upper body to stay pretty steady. Now, as I come to this blind rock roller, you're going to see my body shift slightly forward over top of my stem. It's going to do two things. That's going to give me a better visual of where I need to put my wheels. As well, it's going to put me in a body position to push my front wheel through this G out or almost V with an upwards angle that's going to try to hang my front wheel up. As I come through here, this is where I get that look. And now I'm going to push through. And I'm going to push through with my arms. And my hips are going to shift straight back over the rear wheel. You don't want your hips to fall down towards that rear wheel. Give yourself room to let the bike move up and down underneath of you. If your hips drop down towards that tire and the tire comes up and hits your butt, you're then going to stand up and throw yourself off balance even more. Allow room for body bike movement. Now, as I come through this, notice I push the front wheel over. And now as the front wheel starts to drop, I'm not going to stay back in this steep body position. I'm going to move my body forward back into center so that the bike can work hand in hand with the front suspension and the rear suspension. Bringing myself back to center, allowing the bike to fall underneath of me instead of bringing my body down is going to allow room for the bike to then come up to me as it rolls through. Your legs and arms add another 8 inches of suspension on top of what other suspension you have on the bike. So keeping your upper body stable and your head stable is made possible by all these suspension points. Boom, absorbing that impact, okay, and then getting ready for this rough terrain that's going to happen after it. Allowing the bike to move around underneath of me, using my legs, extending, and then absorbing. Same thing with my arms, extending to push the bike through, and then absorbing as well, letting the bike move forward and backwards underneath of me. Remember, the goal of technical sections is to keep your bike in control, and having yourself be a pilot, not a passenger, is starting with good body bike movement and separation and keeping your head and your upper body stable. Your upper body stable. Some technical features are done at high speed, but the goal again is to keep that upper body stable and the head still so you can keep the bike rolling down the trail. Let's have a look at how I tackle this feature. Now, as I come into the top, I definitely slow up and then I kind of just let the bike roll down. I'm not going to be making any hard braking points because that's going to throw my body forward over the front of the bike. I'm going to make sure that I keep wide elbows, and that's going to allow me to push away or absorb things as they come. I'm going to make sure that my hips stay centered over the bike, allowing the front and rear suspension to work together. Right there, as the bike falls out from underneath of me, notice I let the bike go. My arms extend, my legs extend, but my upper body and head stay pretty stable. Now absorbing again with my arms, keeping those elbows wide, allowing me to push away and absorb. If your elbows fall in, you're not able to use your elbow as a joint. Absorb and push away. Notice that my eyes are looking down trail, not at the front tire, and the bike is just moving around underneath of me. Again, we'll have another look. Check up. Accept the angle. Put yourself in that attack position. Stay centered over the bike and let the bike dance underneath of you. It's all about body-bike separation and movement. The last clip we're going to look at here is this pretty technical feature that requires a small drop here off this rock roller. It's really not that possible just to roll down. This is actually quite vertical, which goes into this flat section, which is about a foot long. And then it goes down this ramp, which then the ramp drops off about a foot into rough terrain again. How I approach this is I take a quick speed check, and then I'm going to shift my weight into the front of the bike so I can execute the shove or push off of this drop, which is going to unweight the front tire while the rear tire kind of travels to the edge and falls off. We wouldn't want to be doing just any unweighting. We want to make sure that this rear wheel can travel as far as it can with our weight on it. So here we go into a push. Okay, and now, like I've been saying before, it's all about body and head stability created by body-bike separation and movement. Now, as my body has extended here off of this small drop using the push or shove method, I've extended my body away so that now I can absorb and hopefully stay in this centered position as I travel down this ramp. Now we do that, we absorb, and now we're ready to drop off this ramp and into this rough section of trail, all while keeping my head and body stable, being a pilot, not a passenger.
Yeah, this really technical one. Big G out.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for our tips for fast or slow technical rock features. Keeping your upper body and your head stable is key to staying in control of your bike in any situation. If you enjoyed the content, please make sure to leave a comment. And as always, like, share with your friends, and make sure you and your friends are subscribing to the channel. If you'd like to see the channel thrive and succeed, please consider becoming a Patreon. I've got a number of different levels, $5, $10, even $15 a month. At $5 a month, that's just 37 cents a day. And while it may not seem like a lot, it does wonders for helping me put food on the table and making sure my bills get paid. Another way to support the channel is through leaving a PayPal tip through friends and family. Now, those tips go directly to my gas tank to make sure that I can keep getting to new sections of trail to keep exciting content coming. The last way you can support the channel is through grabbing some merch. Rep the channel through what you wear out on the streets. I've got several different shirts, a couple different hats. Check out the link in the description to take you to my web store. Now, if I don't see you before the next video, make sure that you ride hard, you ride safe, and that you're kind to everybody. We're all in this together. Makes it easier when everyone's got a smile on their face. If I do see you on the trails, make sure to say hello. I'd love to hear about what mountain biking means to you and why you mountain bike. You might even make it on the channel. But until then, guys, we'll see you later. Rubber side down.